today I'm going to blow your minds away with some stuff you ain't never even thought of.
What other things are they telling you in a broad sense about humanity?
One thing she told me was, when you see Iran and Israel exchanging missiles, and I saw it, the way she tells me is a vision of, I see it like a living picture screen. I could see the rockets flying. Then all of a sudden, orbs appeared out of the ocean and everywhere. And I told the government, if this happens, the orb's going to appear and wake people up and stop it.
That right there is Chris Bledsoe. If you don't know his whole story, I need you to go do a little research. But Chris Bledsoe has such a tight connection with this UAP phenomenon that NASA and people like Tim Taylor have contacted him, questioned him, and watched the phenomenon happen in hopes to maybe gain some more information. Chris has had an encounter with what he calls the woman. And below, you'll even be able to see the painting that Chris did. We're going to dive into that in a little bit because I find it very interesting. But Chris is warned us that the UAP are going to stop this nuclear war, almost as if it was planned.
Not to intercept this plan and stop it, or if you think 9/11 and the Iraq War was a clusterfuck, this is going to be that 1,000 times worse.
Well, that is super interesting, but was there a specific date?
I'm in 2027.
2027.
2027.
2027.
That year is 2027.
Chris Bledsoe says April 2026 is when it all happens.
Well, I said this in my book, so let's revert back to my book. And my book clearly states what Chris said. Is the lady explained to me that in April of 26, there would be an alignment where this star, which is a blue star, of Regulus appears on the horizon in front of the Sphinx, and it would be red.
And you know what? This is right.
That's what she
I've
said.
actually spoken to astronomers. This is the phenomenal thing about this.
Yeah,
The star of Regulus over the Sphinx. Okay, does Chris actually stick to his stories, or is this all made up?
Exact alignment will happen in 2026 at Easter.
What will happen?
The alignment she told me about, that the star of Regulus would be on the horizon in front of the Sphinx. At that moment, there'd be a new knowledge. Well,
Okay, so far so good.
I had no idea if this was even possible, but these astronomers run it through the machines, and it comes out that star is going to come up on the horizon in Easter of 2026. And from that point forward, they started remote viewing the state. Government did. And now you hear it all over TV. 2026, that's the big date. 2027, that year, something's going to happen.
Now, a super interesting point to pay attention to. Chris mentions remote viewers, but the interesting thing is Ross Coulthart in the other interview says, we don't use remote viewers. Listen to their answer.
Chris, the official government position publicly is that we don't use remote viewers.
Well, I think we do.
So not only does Chris give us the year, but also the specific date and time. Check this out.
Year 2026. I gave him the specific time. And it was with Robert Grant that I told him about this alignment and all. And then he's like, oh my God. He's been looking for this ruby, this little ruby you have to find and place it between the paws of the Sphinx to make this event that he knows is going to happen in 2026.
Robert Grant, not to be confused with Alan Grant, actually studies inside the King's Chamber, and some of the stuff he found is mind-boggling. Highly recommend you go research a little bit, but some of the things inside the King's Chamber he found on the north, south, and east-west walls of the King's Chamber are the constellations, as well as...
Here we are in the King's Chamber, famously devoid of any writing or imagery on the walls, and yet we're finding a 6.5-foot wide bull. And the reference of the hieroglyphic writing of the Great Pyramid is Bull Mountain. And Leonardo da Vinci references it in his letter to the lieutenant of the Devatdar of the Sultan of Cairo as Bull Mountain as well.
When I said we were going to look at Chris's painting, well, take a look. Here on Chris's painting, we have the woman. We also have a bull on the right-hand side. We have a UFO on the top, and we have an owl. So let's go in a little bit deeper. On the bull's head, we can see two specific creatures. We don't know if those are aliens or what, but interestingly enough, it seems that might be the same bull that's referenced in Bull Mountain, as well as on Leonardo da Vinci's painting, almost in the same location. Extremely interesting point there. Now, the feminine energy that Chris Bledsoe's talking of, the woman in white, could also refer to exactly what Jake Barber was talking of when he said he got taken over by this womanly feminine energy. That's an interesting combination. But look closer at the woman and you guys are going to see a light triangle on her chest. Could be referencing the Great Pyramid of Giza.
He said it'll be red. And when that happens, it would mark a shift into a new knowledge, not an apocalypse. That's what she told me. It doesn't mean Jesus is coming back. There's a new knowledge that's coming. What is that? Is it under the pyramids they've discovered something? Is it the Hall of Records? Is it disclosure?
Now, Chris, is it possible she's deceiving you? Even if she is a divine being, an advanced being, couldn't she just be pulling your leg?
Well, she could be, but I can tell you this. When I told this to the government about 2026, I just repeated what she told me. They immediately put remote viewers on it. And all of a sudden, all the remote viewers are saying, oh my God, 2026, 2027, something is going to happen. We don't know what, but something.
Do not forget, Dr. Stephen Greer has told us that these people have the capabilities of possibly creating a fake alien invasion, also off of the shoulders of Wernher von Braun. That being said, though, the Pentagon did just come out recently and tell us that they had AI that could literally look into the future and find future events. So, if all of that is true, the possibility of them creating a fake alien invasion during World War III very well could be a thing, meaning that we are all feeling in danger, scared of what's coming next, and the UAPs come out of the water, ocean, what have you, save us, and we come together and find out that we are important in this everlasting piece of humankind of history. And we come together all as one at the end of the day. Could this be the knowledge that is getting ready to unfold in front of our faces in the next few years? Do not forget to pay attention to all of these beautiful patterns directed in front of your faces. I'm sick and tired of saying it. Pay attention. We'll see you next time.